Hello, everybody, and welcome. I know our real fans are like, what the fuck, am I dreaming? No, you're not. It is a brand new, live episode of 80s Revisited. It's our Christmas present, mainly to our fans, but also all of you, all of our beautiful children.
I think we can do our official start here in a second. This is our pre-show.
Hey,
so
there you
you're
go.
just getting on that, making sure everything's working. Because this is the first time, right? So
First time
we're just
for everything.
So tell us a Christmas story, Trey.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful prince who had a very beautiful princess. Then the beautiful princess wanted to have a baby. And the beautiful prince was like, you know what? Okay. Big mistake.
Big mistake, Prince.
Not thinking about it is the problem, is the mistake. The end result is a wonderful, beautiful baby girl. But a casualty of that is free time.
Free time.
Which is why this is the first Age Revisited since October 29th, 2018.
And we have to assume that people are actually seeing this because we don't know that for sure yet. Because, technical difficulties and all.
Let me pull up YouTube.
So,
I don't think that'll create a black hole that'll destroy the time-space continuum.
I figured we just talk in the meantime until this gets started and we can confirm that we're actually online. Because I don't typically stream from YouTube. But let's find out. Are we online? Can anyone see us? Hello out there.
I guess it's under Awesome Pods. I'll search 80s Revisited. Awesome Pods.
But yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out. If you're here watching, or if you're watching this on VOD, which is video on demand. Hey, Clint. All right, so someone's seeing us out there. So we are live. Great.
Excellent.
Perfect. Okay, then we can start the show proper. Make sure our backup's working. It is.
So our audio listeners can catch it.
Yep.
On
I see it
Christmas
here on my
Eve.
phone. I don't see it on the website there, but whatever. Someone sees us.
Someone.
Hello,
That's good
Clint.
enough for me.
Yep, let's do it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Let me get my notes together.
So we're going to do the intro a cappella. No, I'm kidding. That's going to be edited in later. And we'll get started now.
Do you want to do the intro at the end? As before?
Yeah. Just we're going to stick the show format the way we record it, but we just want to see if we can do this live. Just to get back into it, because the last time we did one was over a year ago. As far as
a live one?
Streaming one. It was episode 187.
Cool.
That was the Clue episode.
That was live?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
A bit
Right.
ago. And it looked completely different than what we have here.
All
But
right. I got my list of stuff for the Back to the Future segment. Got my notes. Got our emails up.
feel free to chat with us, and thanks for chiming in.
All right. This week, everybody, we're going to talk about a film which, until very recently, I thought I had seen. But actually, I'd seen the sequel. Because Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2... Actually, hold on. Start over. We got to start the whole show over.
Really?
It's been a fucking month. So, let's... 80s Rewind for you old listeners.
What was that segment?
Sports Rewind.
Oh, that's right.
With the original
Daniel.
co-host. In case anybody's still wondering about that deadbeat, he's doing fine.
So,
Haven't seen him in a year, but he's doing fine.
And typically, on A's Revisit, we don't edit a thing.
At all.
So that's why this works. But you are rusty. So I guess
Rusty like a Griswold.
All right, here we go. Final take. Let's go.
All right. That's right, everybody. 80s Revisited is back, assaulting your eardrums, punishing them, if you will, this holiday season as we cover Silent Night, Deadly Night. I, of course, am still the host, Trey Harris. With me, as always, the elf to my deadly Santa, or in this case of this movie, my younger brother to my killer Santa, Jesse Sedgley.
Yes, I am.
And wow, October 29th. That's the last time you heard the sultry voice of Trey Harris talk about an 80s movie.
Almost 2 months.
Almost to the day. But I said, you know what? No. Our listeners are too nice. They're too fantastic. And actually, our viewers are too fantastic right now. I feel like I'm selling a car because I keep, now that I know I'm on camera, I keep moving my hands. If you're listening to this on a podcast,
What's going on
you're
with
going to
my
have to watch
hands?
the YouTube video. I just don't know what to do with them. My hands. But anyway. Yeah, so until very recently, I if you asked me, you seen Silent Night, Deadly Night? I said, yeah, of course, it's a classic.
Right.
I was wrong. I was 110% wrong because I had seen Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 on TV. So this holiday
Also
season...
an 80s movie, though.
It is. you know, I've been itching. I have this rash. You know, I think I'm getting a case of sequelitis again. So we'll see what happens with that after we finish the Halloween movies. It's all on me. Jesse's sitting here like, when you coming? When you coming? I'm like, oh, I'm coming. And all of a sudden I go to leave the house and all of a sudden the baby starts crying.
Uh-oh.
It's almost like she knows. But anyway, so yeah. Watching as a kid on TBS TNT, it's like, oh, this movie's so like ridiculously silly. Mm-hmm. So, speaking of part 2. So then, much like veterans of the podcast would know, when for Halloween I try to watch a horror movie every night, or you know, do something to celebrate the season. And then, to my chagrin, come November 1st, Autumn's like, all right, this is the day we watch Nightmare Before Christmas because Halloween dies and Christmas begins. Even though in most places Christmas has begun long before Halloween is even come these days. But anyway, so like this year I was like, well, you know what? I'm not going to let Halloween die so easily. So Autumn's never seen Black Christmas. She's never seen Silent Night, Deadly Night. So I want to be sure to work those into the rotation, you know? Oh, Home Alone, let's watch it. Oh, great. All right, now let's watch Silent Night, Deadly Night. So anyway, as we're watching, I'm like, okay, yeah, I remember this. I'm like, wait a second, this must be a director's cut because this is way more than I remember. Well, that's because if you're familiar with Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, the first 30 minutes is basically a recap of the first one. Pretty much, you get the entire first movie in the beginning of Part 2. So I was like, where's the, you know, because Autumn's like, why do you keep saying Garbage Day? I'm like, you'll see. No, that's in the sequel. Usually you'll see a meme.
Credits were all saying, okay, so why'd you say it?
I just sat there like, what?
I'm losing my mind.
I swear to God, somebody. And I looked it up, like, I just searched Garbage Day, like Silent Deadly Night Part 2. I'm like, son of a bitch. I've been completely wrong for years.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've I actually watched this for the first time ever, just a few weeks ago. So, because today is December 23rd. Christmas Eve, as people like to say. You know, so... Anyway,
the new father's calendar is blank.
Yeah, you live by months. Like, is it the 19th? Oh, my baby's another month old. So yeah, I'm 7 months right now. That's my gauge of time. Oh, my wife posted a picture of my child with a number on her chest. Okay, my baby's 8 months. You know what? Because people correct you. I've seen like parents correct people like, oh, she's a year and 2 months. Oh, 14 months. That's great. You know, that passive aggressive kind of correcting. Well, my goal is for as long as she's alive, when people ask how old's your daughter, 362 months. And let them do the math.
I was going to say, some of those people go overboard. And I'm like, man, he's 38 months old.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to do that. But her entire life.
Why don't you go the other way with it, with years? And be like, oh, she's 0.75 years old.
I could do that until she gets to be a year.
Yeah.
Or I could just do like hours, make it really obnoxious. I don't know. Depends on who I'm talking to when I do it. But anyway, Jesse, have you ever seen Silent Night, Deadly Night?
Of course not.
Most people haven't. And like upon, as typical of my research for these films, which involves such prestigious entities as IMDb, Wikipedia, and Box Office Mojo, and a good old-fashioned Google search, this movie was incredibly controversial when it came out. Most notably for, if you follow us on social media, the movie poster with Santa holding an axe out the chimney. Very iconic movie poster. I remember seeing this poster as a kid and like just being like, oh my God, a killer Santa? That's fucking awesome. Well, a lot of people didn't find it very awesome when the movie came out. But more on that after we kind of go through the
I would think,
who, what, when, where.
English teachers would have the biggest problem with this. You've made it through Halloween, now try and survive Christmas. Shouldn't that be like 2 different sentences?
I'm not. If Autumn was here, she'd be able to she would be
flushed about that.
With anger about that. I don't know. Is that considered an Oxford comma, or is the Oxford comma only before and? I don't know these things. I'm not a fucking English major. Because if I was, I'd be teaching English.
Made it through Halloween, now try and survive Christmas.
I'll say that's correct for 80s English.
Okay.
But it changes.
Post in the comments below.
If you're an English teacher.
Or send us an email, 80srevisited@gmail.com. Let me know.
Now, awesome thing about this movie is it actually came out in the Christmas season. Came out November 9th, 1984. IMDb gives it a 5.9. Rotten Tomatoes, 25% critics. A little better, 39% audience. Had an estimated $1 million budget. Opened at 1.4. Great opening. And then it only would go on to make another $1 million. More on that later as well. Couldn't find any information on worldwide or rentals. I would assume worldwide was probably nil because In the 80s, Christmas was still a very American holiday for the most part. I mean, every country has their, Papa Noel or Krampus or whatever celebrations for Christmas, but, nowadays Christmas is 100% global. In 1984, I'm not sure how global Christmas itself was. So I'm going to assume that this probably wasn't something that they think would be a big hit in Italy.
Right.
For example. Maybe. They're very Catholic for obvious reasons. Reynolds, I would imagine, they probably made a good chunk in Reynolds, especially with the controversy around the movie, which again we'll touch on later. It was directed by Charles E. Sellier Jr. He also did Such Thing as Annihilators, and he produced a whole bunch of random shit. Everything from movies about UFOs to the end times to 9/11 and Noah's Ark. So he was kind of all over the place. Ancient Secrets of the Bible, one of those kind of TV documentary type things, like did Noah really put unicorns on the ark? All that kind of Fox network kind of crap that in the 90s, like When Cars Attack and all that shit. It was written by Paul Kaimi. I'm not sure he pronounced his last name. The story was the only thing he ever did, and it was also co-written by Michael Hickey, who pretty much did part 1 and part 2 of this series. Cinematography, didn't even bother looking up the dude's name because meh. Nothing special here. Nothing. This is no Dean Cundy on Halloween or anything. You reference Halloween in a movie poster, but the product within, it's no Halloween. I know Halloween, and it's no Halloween. For those of you who knew that political quote from the early 90s, you'll get that reference. Anyway, it was starring Robert Brian Wilson as Billy. He was actually a regular on the soap opera Santa Barbara. So the killer Santa from this film was a regular on a very popular soap opera for a few years.
Santa Barbara.
Oh yeah, there you go. I see him running around with a Santa suit, punish, killing people. It would have been a great. I would have watched that show at that point.
Yeah.
The crossover you wanted to happen. In fact, there had to be an episode, a Christmas episode, where he was dressed up as Santa Claus. There just had to be. I mean, how could you not do that? Unless again, there's a lot of controversy around this film.
Because they're like, let's not remember this that movie he did.
Well, more on that in just a second. Gilmer McCormick was Sister Margaret. She was also in Slaughterhouse-5, adaptation of the awesome Kurt Vonnegut novel. If you haven't read it, I recommend it. I put it on my short list to read if you haven't. Also, a lot of miscellaneous TV. Lillian Chauvin was Mother Superior. 145 credits to her name, including Predator 2, Pumpkinhead 2, but most notably to me and to my heart, she was JCVD's mom in Universal Soldier. Devereaux, I think was his last name. I was going to say Chance Boudreaux, but that's Hard Target. The best Van Damme movie. Unfortunately, it's not in the 80s.
She was a working actress for life.
Pretty much. She has definitely, when you see 145 credits and you don't know their name, character actor.
Absolutely.
I've seen this, that's pretty much where my mind goes. Let's see, Britt Leach was Mr. Sims. He was in Weird Science, Great Outdoors, and The Last Starfighter. I thought he was in more stuff because I recognized him immediately. The shopkeeper, or the toy store owner in the film. I was like, God, this dude's so familiar, I can't place it. And then, of course, you look it up on IMDb. Oh, that's what he's from. So, fantastic. And I was going to say late character. Her character is late in this film, and she's always great. Linnea Quigley as the niece, of course. We talked about it earlier in Halloween Horror Month, Return of the Living Dead. Also, Night of the Demons, and Linnea Quigley's Horror Workout, which you can find on YouTube if you want a nice horror workout with zombies. It's hilarious and sad at the same time, but entertaining, which is the most important thing.
Maybe that'll be a live review one day.
We actually do the workout while we're talking about it.
Oh, I was just going to say we watch it.
Well, that too, but
holidays in Louisiana. That's true.
I could use it. Give me some leg warmers. Or those neon leopard headbands. That'd be in perfect 80s, Jane Fonda. My mom loved Jane Fonda's workouts. In fact, in our VHS cabinet at home, here's a Star Wars trilogy, there's Superman 2, whatever else, Indiana Jones, and then over on this side are the big, not Betamax, but clamshells.
Yeah.
Jane Fonda's workout, Jane Fonda's super workout, Jane Fonda's next workout. My mom loved Jane Fonda when she was a workout queen. And then she got into politics, far left. My mom's a little more leans to the right, so she's like, I don't like that woman anymore. So, never had to watch them anymore.
Well, that's good.
But they were never as entertaining as those workout videos you see in like Friday the 13th Part 4 or Dirty Work or any of those movies where you see like the workout videos like, damn.
They were made for the movies.
I'd watch that video. Yeah. I'd get a workout. Yeah. If you know what I mean, from those videos as well. But anyway, like I said, I'm familiar with the second one, but I've never seen this one start to finish. And upon finishing it, I fucking love this movie. Because Spoiler alert, as normal with Age Visited, we're about to get into deep spoiler territory. So if you haven't seen Silent Night, Deadly Night, short in the long and short of it, I recommend it. You should watch it. You got 2 more days to watch it, and I believe it's on Shudder right now, which I got Shudder a few weeks ago around Thanksgiving for the Joe Bob marathon. Shudder's awesome. Great content. I just wish it was on more devices. I have to watch on my Xbox One. It's not on PlayStation or the live
smart TVs or
anything. Not quite yet, but it's $5 a month, well worth it, especially because Joe Bob Briggs is having his own show next year. So, excuse me, weekly show. So it's well worth it. But his last drive-in show, if you're a horror fan, highest possible recommendation. Even if you just get it for a month and just watch him in that month and then cancel it, you're gonna be highly entertained, because he did a very Joe Bob Christmas and he did Phantasm.
Yeah.
Phantasm 1 couldn't get part 2 because Universal owns the rights, but you can watch our episode about it from our Halloween horror a few years ago on that, and then you can watch Phantasm 1 with Joe Bob, then 3, 4, and 5. So then you can see the whole series. But it was fantastic. It's just, it takes you back. When I was a kid, you had Elvira. Joe Bob was on Showtime, or the movie channel originally, I think. Didn't have the movie channel, but I always heard, like, when you talk about Elvira, like, oh yeah, and that dude on the... I don't have those channels, so I don't know what you're talking about. But then he came to TNT with Monster Vision, and every Saturday night was bouncing between the 2 hours of MXC on Spike TV, and then over to Joe Bob for the rest of the night with Monster Vision. So great memories, but it captures that vibe, and the thing that makes it even better, and it's a tangent, if you're just joining us, we have a lot of these. The thing that makes it so enjoyable is that on Shudder, there's no commercials. So you just go from the movie, where there would be a commercial, to Joe Bob Briggs talking about the insanity of what you just seen and popping jokes all over the place. And then you don't have to sit through commercials after that. You just right back to the movie. It's fantastic. It's a great format. And I'm not sure if his show on the movie... Well, actually, that's probably exactly how it worked on the movie channel. Because, again, they didn't have to do commercials on a premium channel. Whereas I'm familiar with Monster Vision, so it's like, oh, commercial break, Joe Bob. Okay, Joe Bob came on. Now let's go get a popcorn. Let's go to the bathroom and get back to the movie part. So, highest possible recommendation. But also, this movie, not highest possible, but definitely recommend. It's very kind of grindhousey at first. Just like blatant nudity and like what's happening and all that, but it gets to that slasher sweet spot pretty quick. But the thing that I think is absolutely brilliant, yes, I use that word with this film, about this film, is that it's pretty much about mental health. Michael Myers is crazy. Jason... We don't know we just know that he's killing people. There's no... The backstory is he saw his mother died, or he's a revenant, or he's a deadite. There's all sorts of stuff. Freddy has a backstory. Yeah. And we get more of that as that goes on. But this one, you see an innocent kid watch his parents murdered by a guy in a Santa Claus suit, so he is terrified of people in Santa Claus suits. Even into adulthood. Like, he just doesn't want to see Santa. Can't handle it. So then he's working at Ira's Toys. And the manager's like, oh, Santa called in sick. What was his name? Billy, put on that suit or you're fired. You got to be my Santa tonight. And he's just like, tripping out. Just like, some people would face their fears. But Billy reverts to that, seeing that, the person that wears this is a killer. Yeah. So then he snaps and goes on a murderous rampage. Oh. But to me, it builds up. It has such a good build. Because I'm thinking, this killer Santa's going to come back. Or there's something, because again, I saw the second one, so there's points of the story I was missing. And then just watching this, like, when's the dude come? Because when you watch the recap, it's been so long since I saw part 2, I didn't recognize the guy as, when he had the Santa suit on, as being the guy. I'm like, wait a second, then it clicks when it all kind of comes to a head, like, okay, now it makes sense.
Now, you sure you didn't see 3, 4, 5?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
Because the only one I ever saw was the Garbage Day, where it has a famous goofy line, Garbage Day, and he shoots the dude while he's taking out the garbage. And Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. So that's pretty much what that movie's known for. And the thing is, I haven't watched part 2 in a long, long time. I plan on watching it tonight or tomorrow, before the season's over, so to speak. Because a lot of people like the second one better than the first one, because you basically get the first one in the first half of the second one, and then you got the second one. But I haven't seen that one so long to remember the finer points of like how much of the first one you get, and then into the second one. So when we're on that, as this rash of sequelitis develops, and we see what happens. But yeah, I was blown away by how much I enjoy this movie. The gore effects are good. It's got plenty of TNA. Linnea Quigley's in it, so naturally her shirt's off and she's naked. It's got some good kills. It's got some, minor twists. But I mean, this is a post-Halloween world when this comes out. This is post-84, post-3 Friday the 13th. My Bloody Valentine, I think, was maybe 84. Not sure when it came out in relation to this one. So you have that. You have Halloween. Slasher is on the rise. It's going up. Nightmare hasn't quite come out. Actually, about Nightmare, we'll get on that in a second. So it'll all come full circle. But so they found that what's the holiday they haven't done yet, kind of thing. We got Halloween. We got Friday the 13th. Thanksgiving's not that big of a holiday to warrant a horror movie at this time in the history of it. So it's like, oh, Christmas, which is perfect because what is the most popular holiday? Christmas. And of course. Now, of course, you've had Black Christmas. Predates Halloween. Technically the first slasher. Although nowhere near as genius and brilliant as Halloween, or well done. Still good nonetheless. So you sort of actually did have Christmas done. But with the backstory behind this one, again, this is really like a B movie that because of the controversy and everything really kind of made it an A movie, I guess. Because it's competently made, but this is not a well-made movie. None of the people behind the scenes went on to anything really great.
Right.
Except starting this franchise.
And uncovering Jesus.
Yes, and Noah's Ark, and the Bible Code, and UFOs, because all of these are related.
Right.
Somehow. Excuse me. But yeah, just watching, I was like, wow, this is a fantastic story. It's one of those cases where, like, okay, the story is good. Somebody had a good idea.
Yes.
The execution, pardon the pun, was not well done.
They should have done a couple more drafts and passed it around a little more.
Yeah, I mean, they really could have worked on it.
It's a good idea for a plot.
Yeah,
but then where does it go from there? That's the question.
Yeah, well, it goes with the brother.
Well,
who's a baby in the original. Well, he's a baby when the trauma happens, but then he sees his brother killed at the end of this one. Again, we mentioned spoilers, so sorry. So then he kind of picks up the beard, so to speak,
right,
in part 2. But again, it was just like I went in really expecting nothing because I always remember the cover. Mm-hmm. But actually, when I realized I had only seen part 2, I remember the cover of part 2 because it's got the Christmas ornament, and it's got in the reflection of the ornament is a handgun. Mm. Like, oh, there's a sequel to this too, but it's nowhere near as genius, I think, as the original poster. Got the chimney on the roof, the snow's falling, got the Santa hand hanging out the chimney with the axe. That's all you need. Brilliant.
Yeah, and also a gun in a horror movie.
Yeah, like as a weapon. Yeah, no, that's for the protagonist.
Right.
Not the antagonist, because it is scarier to know that somebody's going to cut you up than shoot you.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, I'm dead. Yeah. Or like, unless they shoot you in the knee. The knee or the stomach are the two worst places to get shot. It takes a guy days to die from that. But no killer is going to just do that because you're going to get away. Of course, unless they torture you. But, Michael Myers with a butcher knife, that's really scary. Freddy Krueger with his hands full of knives, slicing you up, that's scary. Jason Voorhees with his variety of gardening equipment, that's more horrific than like, oh, he's got a gun! Bang, bang.
Yeah, all these other covers are just not as creepy.
Oh, 5 is...
Yeah, 5
Now, as a kid, that would probably terrify me.
Right. A bunch of stuffed animals with evil eyes and fangs.
That had to come out in the 90s, because he's home, but he's not alone.
That's true. 1991, right after Home Alone.
Yep.
A year after.
So Home Alone came out like, we need another Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah.
Wow.
But this is basically that Freddy, what's that popular game now? Five Nights at Freddy's?
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever. An elderly toy maker and his son make killer toys designed to kill their customers and children.
It's also just Child's Play without the serial killer doing it.
Sure.
It's like Halloween 3 and Child's Play mixed. I'm not going to make masks that'll go off on Halloween. I'm going to make toys that just do it for me. Because there's no original ideas in Hollywood. As evidenced by the release of Bumblebee this week.
Right. Starring John Cena.
I was watching the trailers and I didn't see him.
Yeah. It's like, who are they talking to?
I'm absolutely not going to lie. I want to see Bumblebee. I'm not going to see him in the theater, but I'll be excited when I can watch it at home because the Transformer designs are classic.
What's the last movie you saw in the theater?
Shit. In the theater was,
What came out 7 months ago?
What was the last like big like comic book? Infinity
Spider-Man.
War? No, maybe no, because me and Autumn both saw that. No, I saw it. She didn't. Halloween.
Oh, okay.
Halloween was the last one I saw in the theater because my friend at the theater let me see it early, so I went and saw it that morning. I've been trying to get on a schedule to where like because kind of Monday was my movie day, so I go to work, get everything set up, go to a 10 o'clock movie, grab lunch, back at work the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And that went to shit. Because I had to get a whole bunch of stuff in my office straightened up, but that seems to be back to normal. Because I haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody, haven't seen Creed 2, which I really, really want to see. Aquaman started. Autumn wants to see that more than I do, for obvious reasons.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, you know, because women don't objectify men.
Of course,
it's a man thing. Nah, anyway, Silent Deadly Night. Again, they did remake it. I actually started the remake, but fell asleep.
Remake.
Yeah, as just Silent Night.
Okay, that's a lot.
2012 with Malcolm McDowell. He of the Halloween remake fame, the original Halloween remake.
That's a 5.2, and budget of $5 million.
Wow,
grossed 9,000.
It probably went to one theater and then direct to video. I imagine.
Wow.
Most of that $5 million might have been McDowell's salary. Not sure how much he gets. Maybe $1,500,000. Depends how many days he has to work, I guess. But anyway, amazing. The original and the sequel. Sequel we'll cover later. But there's still time. It's, as Bill Murray says in my favorite Halloween Christmas movie. It's Christmas Eve. It's not too late. You can watch both of these and have a fantastic Christmas with no kids in the room. As Joe Bob would say, there's a lot of aardvarking. And a bunch of...
don't know that reference.
Well, that's what he calls sex on Monster Vision. Because when he was on cable, it was, you had to use appropriate language. He didn't say there's a whole bunch of fucking or a whole bunch of sex. It was just... aardvarking, cemetery aardvarking, back of seat aardvarking. That was kind of his thing. And to keep it in the Joe Bob theme, there's antler foo, axe foo, bow and arrow foo, Christmas light foo.
All the foos you can want.
Exactly. So
pity the foos.
I recommend this film. I had fun watching it, but also the first half. Again, I'm like, when's this gonna happen? But like the story's good because like he's gonna be terrified, and here comes the Santa Claus. Like, wait, no, he is the kid. Like. He had this character is pretty sympathetic, especially in this age of mental illness, where mentally ill people now aren't just using an axe to chop up people. Yeah, they're just getting not AK-47, whatever gun. I'm not a gun guy. I'm a sci-fi gun guy. Yeah, I like those pulse rifles from Aliens. You know what I'm saying?
Give me a real gun.
Yeah, there you go. From Eraser. Yeah, exactly. Or from Quake. But anyway, nowadays people are just getting in hotel rooms and shooting people at country concerts. I mean, the music's not that bad. Too soon, probably a little bit. But
I forgot.
It's original in that sense, and it's really it's in terms of a slasher. I'd say it was pretty innovative in a way. In terms of the backstory, he's a human. He's not immortal. He's not a Michael Myers or a Jason Voorhees. He's a man who literally snaps because of a childhood trauma. And when he's a kid and that happens, like, it's pretty brutal. Like, the dude shoots his dad and then tries to rape his mom. He's just hiding, like, trying to run away, like, terrified. With his baby. And this was, like, making me nervous because when you have a baby, you become a real big wuss about anything involving a child. So there's a screaming baby, an infant in the car, too. I'm like, oh, my God, like, why don't you get your brother out of the car, you little twerp? Like, the baby's in the car. So. But, yeah, it's Christmas time. Watch a horror movie, and this is a good one. And watch the second one if you can find it, because then you'll know the Garbage Day reference. But anyway, I mentioned the controversy behind this film, but there's actually something even a little more interesting than the whole controversy about it. Again, this opened November 9th, 1984, the same weekend as Nightmare on Elm Street. One of these is not like the other. Well, I thought that too, but guess what? This film, again, November 9th, Christmas season. People wanted to go. That's why opening weekend, 1.4. People wanted to see the Christmas horror movie in Christmas time. The first week, it briefly outgrossed Nightmare on Elm Street that 1 week, but also Silent Night was playing in more than twice as many theaters as Nightmare before the gross fell about 45% by the second weekend because of the controversy. And here we go. Let's get that ball of wax going, or snowball pushed down. That Mad Mardigan pushed off the sled for you 80s fans. The release of the film was picketed by angry parents who were not happy to see Santa Claus depicted as an axe murderer, despite the fact that there was a Tales from the Crypt episode, which was watched in there was another horror movie that was watching that episode of Tales from the Crypt. We did it on the podcast, but I can't think of it now. It might have been Lethal Weapon, maybe. Don't quote me on that. They did the exact same thing 12 years earlier, and Christmas Evil in 1980 had done the same thing in 1980. But as a result, the box office sales plummeted, and the film was shelved for another year, where it saw a new light in an uncut video form, which has since gone out of print. The film was planned to be a limited release and open wider by Christmas, but the protests pretty much destroyed the film after 2 weeks of release, which is why it opened at 1.5. It ended up domestically it was only out for about another 2 weeks, only made another $1 million before it got pulled. So,
remember when picketing and stuff did things like that?
Stop that Killer Santa movie from being put out.
Or when there was controversy like of such a minor thing.
Aren't you glad that that doesn't happen these days? About minor things in movies getting controversy?
I remember when Magic the Gathering had the unholy strength, the pentagram, also the demonic dude and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Parents were like, "Oh,
that devil game." It's like the
devil game.
Same thing. Dungeons and Dragons came out.
Exactly.
These kids are, Satanic Panic was at full tilt boogie.
Nope, they're just really nerdy.
Yeah. Turns out, I want my dad's like, Daddy, I want to go out and party with my friends. Like, no, you're gonna give your dad a heart attack. Dad, I'm going to play Dungeons and Dragons with my friends. Here, sweetie, take my D20. It served me well.
She loses it by partying out with her friends because she lied to you.
Oh my God! There's a movie. There's a movie for you. Yeah. My dad I lost my dad's stupid dice. Blah blah blah. Quick, there's nerdy kids who aren't at the party. We can go find them and find a dice that looks like it. There you go. There's a quick,
the
cute
whole
little
movie
coming
she's
of age
searching for
movie.
It. By the end, she doesn't find it, and she has to tell you, and you're like, "Oh, I never gave you the actual D20."
I'm not stupid. That was the one I rolled like shit. Yeah. But I appreciate your honesty.
That's right.
Dad, can we play D&D together now? No, sweetie. You're grounded.
You're grounded.
Shut the door like Princess Bride style. Actually, duplicate that exact end shot. You think it's going to be something sweet? Then pull a Jack Burton. Nah.
What do you think of that idea that Deadpool did?
Oh, with the PG version or something? Or?
I don't know. I didn't know anything about it. This Christmas version of Deadpool?
Well, it's what, a Very Merry Deadpool or something?
Basically, it's Deadpool 2.
Yeah, but it's like basically recut. G-rated is what I understand.
I didn't know that. But I just know they retell it. They force like Fred Savage to retell it.
Like an intro or maybe?
No. Like throughout the movie, I think he's in it. Like Deadpool is playing the grandpa's part.
That's hilarious.
Princess Bride. And he like captures Fred Savage to read the story of Deadpool 2.
That makes perfect sense for Deadpool. So.
And like it's a little recut because I looked up reviews and everyone's like saying, I don't know if I would call this a new movie because it's basically Deadpool 2.
So that's what I thought. It was just basically a TV version of Deadpool 2 because so many, including my brother-in-law, brought their child to see Deadpool 1.
Oh.
And so kids love Deadpool.
I didn't
know
that part.
I mean, I just assume it to be, they're just going to cut out some of the dirty words. I mean, I don't remember any, maybe turn down the blood, something like that. I don't know.
See, like, if you look up Once Upon a Deadpool on IMDb, it just comes up Deadpool 2, yeah. So, like, you don't get to release a movie twice.
All about the money.
Yeah, that's right.
Paper.
Yep. I don't know.
I think that's great. So, that way, because, I would not take my young child, to see Deadpool 1 or 2. That's not for you.
Yeah, but I guess the question is, from a business point, what if this becomes a trend, like re-releasing a movie?
I think that's cool.
Really?
I mean, for example, what's...
As long as they put it out there, because at first I had no idea. I would have expecting a whole new movie.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, wait a second, this is just Deadpool 2.
I'm trying to... Like, Halloween. I mean, this would never happen. It's a horror movie to begin with.
I'm sure someone out there got tricked, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it's a new Deadpool movie. Like, no, it's not. Because believe me, anybody who has parents on Facebook, you see how they get tricked all the time.
All the time, yeah.
My password got stolen. I wonder why. The IRS thing called you, didn't they? Didn't the IRS send you an email and told you to click this link? Oh, Amazon lost your package, so you entered your password again?
Yeah. Come
on. Anyway, Phil Donahue actually dedicated an entire episode of his TV show to the controversy about this film. Yes. The group formed to protest the film and lobby for it to be removed from theaters was called Citizens Against Movie Madness, or CAM.
Yeah, CAM.
Yeah. And the founders of CAM, the group, they tried to challenge the film industry on the amount of violence for other films as well. However, the group would fall fall apart shortly after this film was pulled and never live up to its founder's dreams. Aww. Thank you for not parenting my children. And let's see. To protest the film, Gene Siskel read aloud, and we all know Siskel and Ebert hated every slasher movie except Halloween. Pretty much. Read out loud the names of the companies that owned distributor TriStar Pictures on his and Robert Ebert's television show, and then said, quote, "Shame on you." He also called out the writer, director, and producer and said, quote, "You people have nothing to be proud of." Well, Gene Siskel, you're dead, and somebody's still talking about Silent Night, Deadly Night. So, fuck you, buddy. I give you one finger up.
This article's from November 15th, 1984.
Is that by Siskel or Ebert, or
no? It's Catherine Gerwitz.
Gerwitz.
Yeah, it just goes into more details about that whole thing. That's crazy that you can find articles from that far.
Well, you have to go to the library, the basement of the library, to the microfiche section, and pull it in the.
But then the ghost shows up, and the papers start flying everywhere.
And you have to call the Ghostbusters to come and get you out. See what's going on. 200
protesters. That's interesting, they say, including a Moravian priest. It's like, why did you include that? Just, it's legitimate. There's a priest there.
Yeah.
Santa's not a hitman. That's one of the signs.
That's a movie.
Deck the halls with holly, Santa. Not bodies.
These are writing themselves. That's a sequel. Deck the halls with
I invite you all to write the
bodies.
Sequel. Wow.
That's fantastic.
Limited release of 400 theaters. Still pulled in 1.5 out of that.
Okay, in the quote, or as I saw it, she
bit.
said a 3-year-old saw the newspaper ad for the movie and asked, "Why does Santa have a bloody hatchet?" Well, it's easy.
That's for the bad boys.
It's not Santa, sweetie.
Yeah. That's an actor.
Problem solved. It's a movie.
I don't want to be honest with my children.
And now people don't want... I don't know. To me, Santa's a part of growing up.
Right.
It's like, do I believe in Bigfoot? No. Do I believe in the possibility of Bigfoot? Absolutely.
Yeah.
We discover new species every day. Do I think it'll ever happen? The kid in me wants to say, yes, 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 Bigfoot's out there. But the logical, rational adult says we would have seen something like that by now. Same thing with Nessie. I'm sorry to say, takes off my invisible hat. Nessie is dead.
This Republican mayor.
Of course, it's a Republican.
"I'm not one for censorship," he said. "I believe in free speech, free expression, but Christmas is sacred. To make one of these killer movies with Christmas and Santa Claus as a theme, that's going too far."
But it went too far in 1978, 77, and 1980.
Different times, man.
It's the same thing with, not same thing, but, this is just because of the movie poster. Again, iconic movie poster. I got on my backpack for work, I have the FrightRags.com free plug. Give me a free shirt, we'll call it even. Tell them 80s Revisited sent you, and maybe they'll hook me up. Anyway, actually, I'm not wearing one.
Some guy who was stuttering over all of his words. That's who sent me.
All of our true listeners know when I get excited, I get dyslexic and stuttering. I become a stuttering, blabbering idiot that you don't want to sleep on your couch overnight. Or you would let sleep on your couch and then hope they would leave in the morning. Whatever that great, fantastic review said. But this is just about the poster. So it's like, these people did not see the movie. Same thing with Last Temptation of Christ. Last Temptation, what is this about? Pick it, pick it, pick it. Kevin Smith's Dogma, same thing. Now, in hindsight, these same people that hated this movie don't love it, but I mean, this is a revered classic now. I mean, 5 sequels and a remake. 4 sequels and a remake, excuse me. And today it's, they just have like remastered versions of Part 2 come out. So obviously it's Christmas time, so horror fans are legion and they want their Christmas horror movies. But like with Last Temptation of Christ, same thing. Like people picket it, but now the Catholic Church recognizes it as a very informative and interesting perspective on Catholic themes. So it's like, perception changes. And this is, again, when you see like people protesting stuff, like people, I'm protesting that rap music because it's violent. These people have never listened to any rap music except what might have been on an episode of Matlock when somebody drives by or something, which is still then being stereotypical of people and it's inadvertently racist in its portrayal of it, which just leads people to feel threatened and have to picket something or protest something they know nothing about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, people protesting the Satanic Monument in Utah, or wherever the hell it was. They want to put, they have the 10 Commandments on government ground. The Satanic Temple. Granted, I think it's half publicity, half free speech. They did it for attention. For the most part, I'd say that's just me. That's my opinion. But I think they should. You can't have this next to the sacred Ten Commandments. Well, to some people, whether it's a publicity stunt or fact, is sacred to these people. You should have something in reference to all religions on government ground, or have something in relation to none of them. Because people love these arguments. This is a Christian nation. No, we're not. When have we ever been? That's a fallacy that your preacher told you that you believe and think that it's true. It's never been true in the history of this country.
Was this Arkansas?
Was that it? That must be it. Because the same monument that was on that Sabrina Netflix series that got all the controversy.
I haven't watched that.
I haven't watched, but they used like the.
Is that it?
Yeah, because it's got the two kids in front of it. Because they used the Netflix show used that not that exact statue, but they basically copied it with the kids in front of Baphomet in front of it. So like they were getting sued by the Satanic Temple.
Oh, they
were copying it. I guess. I mean, I think it was more so worded that it was the artist's original sculpture. Because I was like, because I mean, you will see representations of Baphomet exactly like that in that pose, but not with the like the boy and the girl next to him like that. And I think they used that exact kind of. Basically, somebody saw this online, thought it was okay to copy it, and it wasn't.
Right.
So, but that's that stuff. Back to Silent Deadline. In an interview from the documentary "Going to Pieces: The Rise and Fall of the Slasher Film," which I really want to see but have not yet. Lillian Chauvin, the Mother Superior character, admitted it was a mistake to center the film's publicity campaign on Santa Claus, and believed it would have generated far less controversy if the studio instead focused on Billy's psychological plight, which is the part that I found incredibly interesting and made for a good story and a decent film. But also, that's the funny thing. People were picking in the fact that Santa, a dude's killing people in a Santa suit. But this film is extremely harsh against the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
The nuns are cruel. Like this could have been called The Nun instead of that recent stupid movie that came out called The Nun. Because the nuns in here, the Mother Superior, like beating the kids, like you see in all sorts of older movies, like, where the kids are, like Problem Child even, like where they're beating them, very harsh. Blues Brothers as well. Yeah. That stereotypical trait in a movie to where like, oh, here comes Mother Superior and she's got her ruler or she's got her paddle or whatever, so you can't get out of line because you're going to get your ass beat. And, sent with no food for 10 weeks or whatever the hell they do. My wife's Catholic.
10 weeks, no food.
Pray and the Lord will provide, or you die and you're not worthy.
Yeah.
Sort of like the Salem witch trials. Anyway, well, she's exactly right. I mean, although, the marketing was genius, but it also backfired for this film. Because if this came out now, and there was no other imitator since 1980, or not imitators, I should say, anything in light of that since 1980, it'd probably be a huge hit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Happy Death Day is a huge hit, and then Truth or Dare, and when I say huge hit, I'm talking about it's making money, so Blumhouse is making sequels.
Right.
Nothing's bad against Blumhouse because the new Halloween was fantastic, but these other films are making money.
Mm-hmm. And
granted, honestly, it's not. He doesn't do Paranormal Activity ripoffs or like Part 7 and spinoffs and the Conjuring spinoffs and all that. I don't like that shit. That's just me. But at least he's doing something different. Actually, Happy Death Day, I think was the time loop, like Groundhog Day with serial killer with a slasher. That one I thought I actually enjoyed that one, for what it was. But the Truth or Dare one, I think it's on Netflix now. I've heard nothing but horrible, stupid things about it, and it's just bad. So I'm avoiding that one because I don't really give a shit. But I thought this was hilarious. Because in the trailer for that, it would just look stupid. Because like when they. I don't know what the plot is. I mean, obviously it's something to do with Truth or Dare, but then their faces grow into these weird, like, Joker smiles. It just looks dumb. So I'm not interested. Okay. You can make a horror movie about Bloody Mary because that can be scary. You can't make, Truth or Dare. You didn't do the dare, so now you're going to die. Or, that just, unless you have Jigsaw telling you that. But, it should have been Saw 27, Truth or Dare.
Yeah.
You were going to play a game called Truth or Dare. Make your choice. Let's see. I thought this was hilarious.
Yeah, the smile thing.
Yeah, there's just something in it where like if they're evil, they smile, or I don't have a clue. Don't care. Mickey Rooney, the legendary actor from old Hollywood, child actor all the way to his old age, was one of the vocal detractors of the film in '84. Surprised people when he was actually in Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, The Toymaker, which we made fun of the cover earlier.
Wow.
Leading some to call him a hypocrite for appearing in the film. However, anybody with any knowledge of Hollywood, even rudimentary, knows that sometimes titles change during production. So it is believed that he was told you're playing in a film called The Toy Maker, but then they figured they could tie it in to the Silent Night Deadly Night franchise by just, it's like, kind of like the Cloverfield paradox.
Right.
Started out something different, and they tied it into Cloverfield with the Netflix original.
They do that all the time in board games.
Movies too, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm trying. There seems like there was
name
something
recognition.
Else. Yeah.
So.
Seems like there was something else that was kind of like. What happens a lot of time, like for example, Cyborg, the Van Damme movie, started off as Masters of the Universe 2. All the way in the pre-production, they're about to start shooting, but funding falls out. Shit, we all got all this shit. Let's just adapt all this crap to another story and make a movie. That's how we get Cyborg.
It's true. And we're changing the name of this podcast to This American Life, the 80s.
This 80s American Life.
Yeah.
Something like that. And that's great. And
I've
only heard like a snippet, so I just know that he's talks slow, I guess.
Right. Yeah, he talks a little low.
Yeah, so
we don't have the mics set up for that just yet.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah. We'll see. It was also called, hold on, I'm missing something. Yeah, pretty much that's just the theory, is that it wasn't called Silent Night Deadly Night 5 when he got the script. It was just The Toy Maker, and it changed after the fact.
He knew what he was doing.
But hey,
that was their mission. They were like, we're going to get him in one of these movies.
We're going to make sequel after sequel until we can get Mickey Rooney in.
We're going to make a fool out of him.
Fuck that guy. It was also known as Sleigh Ride throughout its production. However, TriStar decided to change the title to Silent Night Deadly Night at the last minute. A good change, I'd say. Because I think it's, Silent Night is a classic. Mm-hmm. It's one of those, you always hear Sarah McLachlan on the Christmas station, or whatever person wants to sing it. It's all the time.
Mariah Carey.
But it's a classic. It was in Hateful Eight. Bob's playing on the piano for that great scene when Samuel L's telling him about his black dingus, white man's mouth.
You're playing Red Dead Redemption right now, and you go into any saloon, they will be playing that too.
Really?
Yeah, it's very minor Christmas nod.
That's awesome, though.
How the piano player play Christmas songs.
That's fantastic.
There's no decorations as far as I remember, but yeah, the piano player plays Christmas music.
Yeah, because I've never seen anything like that outside of an MMO.
Yeah.
Like Warcraft, you play in whatever holiday it's decorated for. Final Fantasy 14 that I played a lot of. You go into the towns for the, in the world that you're in. Oh, it's the Harvest Festival for Thanksgiving, but we know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's still cool. For New Year's they do the fireworks in the cities and all that. So, but it's also, I find that really awesome and amazing when a game like that does it.
Yeah.
Because this isn't an MMO. This is a single player adventure game.
Mm-hmm.
And those little touches. It's like, oh wait, that's cool. I think that's a good idea that somebody implemented, and it's so minor.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, it's minor, but it's still just like, oh.
And it's good that it's minor because it's not over the top.
Yeah, it's not like, look what I'm playing. Y'all fellas want to hear Silent Night again?
Or there's not like lights and everything in the town and Holly
in the West,
yeah.
I was gonna say Marston, but that's the first Red Dead. Arthur. What's his last?
Arthur Morgan.
Mr. Morgan, perhaps you could help me get these new electric lights, these colored electric lights, hang up around the mansion. I don't know. I got stuff to do, but I guess I'll help you.
All right, boy.
The Pinkertons are on our tail and all this other stuff, but let me go get these colored lights for you. The special holiday mission.
All right. Well, that I wouldn't put past them.
Yeah. But
they're not going to decorate the town. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, again,
maybe one person's house way out in the middle.
Or in the that city, like the one that's obviously copied off New Orleans.
Of course.
I'm like, wait, that's Jackson Square, basically.
Kind of. A little smaller.
Yeah. A little more plant growth, but maybe it looked that way in the 1800s. I don't know.
True.
All the film's TV ads were immediately pulled off the networks because of the trailer showing Santa Claus carrying an axe, which practically depicted him as a mass murderer. I mean, it's a slasher film, so duh.
Yeah.
Anyway, that also motivated parents to protest the film and instantly had it yanked out of theaters, as we mentioned before. This was interesting and would have been amazing. Sam Raimi was considered to direct. We'd have gotten those first-person axe swings. And Bruce Campbell would have been Billy, so it would have been even better.
Yeah. Put a dance scene in there somewhere.
Because you got to have that. Let's see. When the remake, titled Silent Night 2 2012, was released in 2012, the reaction was the polar opposite of what it was in 84, with people accepting the concept of the killer wearing a Santa Claus suit because nobody gave a shit and knew it was a slasher movie. This may also have been the reason why Fangoria Films decided to re-release the original in 2013, and also led to the film finally appearing. Okay, this explains it right here. This one was never on cable until 2014. So that's why I never saw the original. The toy shop where Billy gets his first job is called Ira's Toys. Ira is the first name of one of the film's producers. The graphic designer Bert Klieger created the infamous poster art of Santa going down the chimney with an axe, so I had to mention him. Fantastic job. Your marketing was so good. It caused a protest and made the film a failure. I mean, actually, technically not, because it was a $1 million estimated budget. Opening weekend it made 1.4, ended with 2.4. So it was a success, obviously, not just because of the controversy. I mean, it probably could have doubled its take and maybe went home at $5 million had the protest not pretty much got it yanked out of theaters. But also, like I mentioned too, it released the same day as Nightmare. We all know Nightmare went on to arguably become...
It did a couple things.
a little bit. I mean, Freddy's the only one that at that point had toys made of him. So, excuse me.
Wow.
That was a huge, huge deal. So let's see. Due to the use of the Killer Santa theme in earlier films, the producers were not expecting this aspect of the film to be controversial. They were, however, expecting the film's portrayal of the Catholic Church to be controversial. That's because nobody watched the movie. They just saw that fantastic poster and decided that's what we're going to be angry about today.
Yeah.
Because that's America,
even
in 84. Body count, 14. And as I mentioned before, the legacy of this film, you got 4 sequels and a remake starring Malcolm McDowell. I've only seen the first 2, watched half of the remake. I wasn't totally turned off about it, but again, I didn't have a love or an appreciation for the first one until very recently, because I'd seen the second one years and years ago and always knew the Garbage Day reference, and that was pretty much it. But now, actually, I got time. It's not too late. Fit in 3 more sequels before Santa comes with an axe through my non-existent chimney. And that's about it. So, yeah, score, I'd give it a 7.5. I will watch this movie every year for Christmas. Because it's...
What are your other Christmas movies?
I mean, aside from traditional ones, well, I mean, the ones that every year I will have to watch, when horror-wise, and just horror movies, not necessarily, I don't watch them all, but I mean, you got Black Christmas and the remake, now I have 4 sequels and a remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night, you got Santa's Sleigh. Krampus, it's not my favorite movie, but it's fun. I find it entertaining, it's enjoyable, it's well shot, and the look and everything, cinematography in that one's really notable. Christmas Evil, and on Shudder, actually, I found out there's a lot of kind of direct-to-video Christmas movies that have come out, like He Knows When You've Been, or I can't remember the names, I haven't seen them yet. But there's several on there that have gotten really good reviews for holiday horror. Gremlins is a Christmas movie. Of course, Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, that kind of stuff. Go back up. There was one I saw that I wanted to mention. Rare Exports. That one's really good. And there's another one called, of course, Santa's Sleigh with Bill Goldberg.
Of course.
Is amazing. And there's Jack Frost, which Autumn's like, Jack Frost, yeah, that movie might be no. The one with the killer snowman.
Yeah, and they came out around the same time, too.
And she's like, well, we got to watch both of them. And I just fell in love with her again. So, and there's also, do not confuse Silent Night, Deadly Night with Silent Night, Bloody Night. 2 different movies, 2 different, not even franchise. Bloody Night's not a franchise. But, then Home Alone 1 or 2. Autumn has to watch Elf once, but I'll make sure she does it when I'm not around, because that movie I'm tired of that movie. They killed it by playing it too much. Anna and the Apocalypse is something that just came out. It says 2017, but I think it just came out recently. It's like a musical, but it takes place about the apocalypse, obviously.
Well, I didn't know
but it takes place around Christmas time. That's all I've heard about it. So I'm interested to see that. I mean, this and Lampoon's, Scrooged. I know I'm missing some big ones. Said Die Hard, said the action ones. Those kind of staples. For the most part. Muppet Christmas Carol. That's Autumn's favorite. So we watch that on Christmas Day usually. But Christmas Eve night is when I watch Scrooge. That's my personal tradition, because that is the best goddamn Christmas movie ever. Anytime I hear hammering, will you please stop the goddamn hammering? So, because it's a fantastic fucking movie. I'd watch, I would love to watch it more than once a year, but I like to keep it special. It's so good, I have to maintain the sanctity of Scrooge by only watching it on Christmas Eve.
It's funny, my thing stopped working, so you can't see what I'm looking at anymore.
No. But that's okay. Neither can anybody else.
That's
So
true.
we're all in this. It's a level playing field right now. But in the real world, again, Silent Deadly Night.
That's what I was looking at. I was like, that's a cool
I've heard about that
photo.
too. I believe it's on Netflix. We're talking about a Christmas horror story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that that's pretty good.
Well, that shot looks cool.
But you know they get you that cool cover, and then
Yep, that's right.
bleh. Whoops. But yeah, November 9th, 1984. 3 days before this, it was the United States presidential election in which Ronald Reagan defeated Democratic former Vice President Walter F. Mondale with 59% of the popular vote, the highest since Richard Nixon's 61% popular vote victory in 1972. Reagan carried 49 states in the Electoral College. Mondale only won his home state of Minnesota by a mere 3,761 vote margin. So pretty much Reagan almost won every single state in that election. I believe that's considered that election is called like the biggest landslide in political history. Not so much in the popular vote as evidence because Nixon had 61%, 72, but because he pretty much carried every state.
Yeah.
Reagan did, except the District of Columbia. It's not even a real state. Let's be honest. It's a hive of scum and villainy. Back to the Future, because it's been 2 months, I actually had to go on my Facebook page and see all the movies that I tagged that I watched so I can remember some of them. Because I've seen some good ones that I really want to recommend to you lovely
So in 2
guys
months,
and girls.
these are the movies you've amassed.
Yep. Sorry to Bother You. Fantastic. Do Not Look, Jesse. I think you'd like it too. I'm not going to say anything else about it except watch it. Do not look up a plot summary. Just watch it. And then send us an email at 80srevisited@gmail.com and let me know what you think about it.
All right.
The day after that, I watched Black Klansman, which I thought was going to be very heavy-handed because it's Spike Lee, but it was very, very good. Very. When I looked up the real story after the fact, you had your usual embellishments, but pretty much I'd say hit it right on the head for the most part. Very good. Well acted. Go down, I believe the lead was Denzel Washington's son.
Yeah, he has the last name Washington.
Okay, it was. I was trying to remember if it was Ice Cube or Denzel Washington. But yeah, what's his name?
I
John David
recognized
Washington.
him from Ballers. Yeah.
I never watched that, even though The Rock's in it.
That's why
just
I
couldn't
watched
handle
it.
it. Just watching those little trailers for that after or before Game of Thrones would come on HBO, I was just like, this. I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch this show. It just doesn't look good. So I have zero experience with that. But he's fantastic. Adam Driver's fantastic. Topher Grace is hilarious. As David Duke. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, a local celebrity of sorts, David Duke, here in Louisiana. I hate to say that. Incredibles 2. Most people think, I say most people, but a lot of people I know think The Incredibles is the best Pixar film and fantastic and blah, blah, blah. I never thought that. However, Incredibles 2 was fantastic. I liked it way better than the first one.
I saw it, and I was lukewarm on it.
Did you like the first one?
I didn't see it in theaters or anything. I saw it at home.
Me either. Obviously, because I have a baby.
So you don't go out.
I don't know if it was the...
Just like new parents should.
Yeah.
Stay home.
I don't know if it's because the fact they're dealing with a baby in it. It was like, yep.
Oh, that could have been it. Yeah.
Maybe I related to it more. But again, first one was like, I wouldn't even put it in my top 10 Pixar, personally. They have so much.
I felt like I was watching
stuff.
an episode of something more than a movie.
And with part 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that, for sure. Not saying it was great. I mean, by Pixar standards, it was just way better than the first one.
Okay.
8th Grade was really good.
I saw that.
That girl deserves an Oscar nomination.
Yeah, she was very good.
Like, I was completely absorbed in that story. Because even though, like, she's on her phone doing like stuff that we had no concept of at that age, the theme of being that age and what she was dealing with was like, yep. And now kids this days got to deal with it like that. Yeah. So it really kind of opened my eyes up to how kids that age now have to live with the luxuries that they have today, on top of all the other bullshit that goes on when you're in 8th grade.
But it also works against them.
Yeah, exactly. So it was so, I was just like...
Can't hide stuff as much.
Yeah. But then also, again, I have a daughter, so the dad's like, trying to be part of her life, and just like, aw, my daughter's going to be an asshole to me one day.
Yep.
And I'm just trying to be happy. I'll be nice to her. I saw Layer Cake, which is an older movie, but I had never seen it. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. Have you seen Layer Cake with Daniel Craig, Tom Hardy? I'm missing some other big names. A lot of big name English actors.
That is a pretty basic cover.
Yeah, but it's good. It's a calm meaning. But it's good. I really liked it. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to go any
Matthew
spoilers.
Vaughn, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I watched it, because I've seen everything he did except that. And we had just watched Kingsman 2 again because of that beautiful, beautiful country road scene. Makes me cry every time. I was like, because I've seen First Class, seen both Kingsman. What else has he done? I was like, let me look it up. Oh, I haven't seen Layer Cake. Let's continue let me make sure I've seen everything. No, I'm sorry. We didn't watch Kingsman. We had watched Kick-Ass 2. Kick-Ass 1 because it was on Amazon. I was like, oh, it's such a good movie. Oh, yeah, Matthew Vaughn did that because that's why then he did X-Men. And then we watched Layer Cake. I was like, I got to watch Kingsman. So I watched Kingsman 2 again after that. So that's the correct order of events in my life, which you're so interested in, I'm sure. And then I saw speaking of The Rock, I saw Skyscraper, which was just as stupid.
I did not see that.
And dumb as I thought it would be. But it's worth watching to just have fun and make fun of it as the Mystery Science Theater while you're watching it. Like, that's stupid.
I saw the other Rock movie.
What one?
Rampage.
Oh. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast. I saw that one. I was dumb too.
Yeah.
But fun dumb. Like, I can watch The Rock do fun dumb.
It was such a bad writing job.
Oh, everything about that was
cheesy.
terrible.
Yeah.
Like, ugh. But it was, again, when The Rock, like, if The Rock was in the Transformers movies, I'd probably love him because The Rock's in them doing rock stuff.
Yeah.
Fast 5, I think. Whichever one is the one where The Rock is in the hospital and he's got his arm in the cast and he's like, oh, my friends are in trouble. And he flexes and shatters the cast. Yeah. That is the top. Don't like the Fast and the Furious. Not at all. Will never give them props. But Kurt Russell and The Rock, cat hair in the face. I'm down. Absolutely. But that's why I don't want to watch Ballers, because like that's not The Rock I want to see.
True.
Personally. He might be fantastic in it. I'll never know. Because he can do some good drama. Faster, I think, was one where he was a little more dramatic.
I don't think I saw that.
Fantastic. But Skyscraper was just like San Andreas. More entertaining than San Andreas, because you just had this ridiculous... Skyscraper was The Rock if The Rock was in a 90s movie. It was a straight up 90s with that kind of hyper technology type stuff, like you control the entire building with your iPhone. Or this key coded thing, it's like in the building's like super high tech and just, that super far reaching sci-fi element that's so unbelievable it's just stupid. And of course, him being an amputee on top of that for no reason. And just and then of course the memes with the poster showing him like with the actual Pythagorean theorem about his angle making it to the building.
I didn't even know he was an amputee.
There's really no reason for it. I mean, they have a backstory to it, but it doesn't serve any purpose except like, wow, he's doing all this with a metal leg.
It just costs a lot.
I mean, does representation matter for amputees? I guess. I mean, I'm not, if you think that, I get it does. It absolutely does. But it was not...
It was not central to the plot.
Honestly, they bring it up once in the beginning to show what happened. Like, oh, why'd you get out? Now you work building security. Nah, that's what I had to do. And of course, it comes into play with saving his life, the prosthetic leg, at some point in the film, because it's a MacGuffin. I mean, not a MacGuffin. If you show
Nev Campbell.
Yeah, I was shocked. Like, Sydney. The building's like, Sydney, you need to get out of the building, Sydney. Let's see. Good friend of the podcast, Ben Wyatt, Ben the Tasmanian Devil Wyatt, mentioned, I think, last year on his top 10 list of films, because when Ben does it films that he saw that year. So he was talking about a film from a few years ago called Remember with Christopher Plummer. It's very Memento-ish. However, one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. Absolutely. If I did that same thing when I did my top 10 films of the year, which we'll do next episode or after the first of the year, because then the year's officially over, and hopefully I can catch some of the ones I haven't seen before then, I would do that. But don't look up anything about don't look it up other than if you're just seeing who's in it and all that. It is fantastic. Absolutely great. Highest possible recommendation. I also saw Slow West, which is on, I think, Netflix now. It's on one of the streaming services. Because as soon as I get it from my means, it immediately pops up on stream in HD.
Of course.
That's just the way it works. But I don't like older Westerns. I appreciate them. I appreciate the spaghetti Westerns with Eastwood and Good, Bad, and the Ugly. But I really like a good modern Western. Obviously, Hateful Eight's one of my favorite films of all time. And a great fucking Christmas movie, because it is a Christmas movie. Joe Gage is going to see his mom for Christmas. Bob plays Silent Night on the piano. That's enough for me. It's a Christmas movie. And it makes me cold just watching it. So, but Slow West was a great. It reminded me of a film in Australia, from Australia, with Guy Pearce called The Proposition. Just kind of a brutal, almost gangster, a Guy Ritchie-esque type western. Just to where it's brutal, things just happen, and the plot just keeps moving. It doesn't stop. And beautifully shot, absolutely beautifully shot with Fassbender in it too. It was great. Let's see. I also saw Life from last year with Gyllenhaal.
I haven't seen that one.
I was surprised. I liked it.
That was one that Melissa and I both wanted to go to the theater and see, but we just never did, and then it just went,
It seems like, from what I've kind of gathered from it from people, it's a very love-hate kind of film. But I went into it just knowing there's some little alien thing that they find in space.
Right.
That's all I went into it knowing, and I knew who the cast was in it. And then just, watching it unfold, just like, okay, fantastic movie. I liked it. Not highest possible recommendation, but recommended, for sure. We also watched Christopher Robin.
Yeah, that was...
Went into that with
I saw that.
high expectations.
Yeah.
And that was the flattest, like, unemotional movie I've ever seen. I was more sad just watching Pooh, like...
Yeah,
y'all can't see me on the podcast. Just like they look
see
good.
It on YouTube.
They look good. Like, I liked what they did with the character, like the look of the aesthetic of the characters. I'm like, it's so sad. Like, I'm like, I'm waiting because a good friend of ours said, "Oh, Christopher Robin made me cry."
At what part?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering. Like, I'm watching. I'm like, what's gonna be the tearjerker here? Like, this is a Disney movie. What's gonna be that point where you're like, got me? They got me.
Melissa fell asleep. I watched the whole thing. I was like, you don't need to go back for that one.
Well, it also ended abruptly. I thought I was just like, okay, and then wait, this is the end?
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm glad it's over because this was going nowhere. But like, there was nothing to it.
Yep.
So skip that one. There was also
and it has a 7.4.
Why?
That's because Disney pays for something with that.
Must be.
Yeah.
Must be. But also, speaking of Fassbender with Slow West, me and Autumn went kind of on a Fassbender kick. There was a film that we watched, an older film. It was a horror film called Eden Lake. Very good. A very good thriller. I was like not clenching my fist, but like, oh shit. Seeing where it was, I don't know nothing about it. Again, one of those just like. I watch a lot of YouTube now with the baby because I can't, or I'll put on, I'll either put on a movie that I'm not going to pay attention to for background, or watch like a 12-minute YouTube video while I'm holding the baby or something while I'm giving her a bottle or something like that.
Father.
Yeah, pretty much. Watch Mojo's top 10 ways to be a better father. Like, Watch Mojo will have lists like, best like horror movies you've never seen, or like stuff like that. I'll watch a lot of that because it's like 12 minutes long. And one of the things they recommended was Eden Lake. So like, this great movie, Michael Fassbender and I forget the girl's name, was like
Kelly Riley.
Like, okay, this looks interesting. So then I stopped the video, mental note to watch this movie. So didn't want to see a spoiler, but it was on their list of top 10 horror movies you've never seen. And it was really good. Very tense, very good thriller. So I would recommend that one, especially when I have a Fassbender 2 for watch Slow West, watch Eden Lake. I think that might be about it, because then I kind of hit the Christmas movie stride. That was into December. And it seems like we watched something else, but I don't remember. I'm trying to think, but I can't think.
It's just been too long.
Yeah, like last week. It was just so long.
Baby steps.
Don't say the B word. Now I'm worried about my baby. But obviously, since not podcasting for nearly 2 months.
Got some emails.
What's that?
You got some emails.
Yes.
Amassed.
Well, here's one from Thanksgiving.
Oh.
First off, UK Lee went as the Terrifier from the film. Our YouTube viewers can kind of see it.
Yeah, definitely.
Lee, I hate to say I haven't seen the movie yet. It is on my queue because it's on, I believe, Netflix. So it's on my queue. It's just got caught up in the whole Christmas movie thing. I haven't watched it yet. But I will. But I have seen the clown from it, which is Lee's costume. And it looks pretty damn good, my friend. So good job on that. But as soon as I do watch Terrifier, I'll let you know. And everybody else know. Because everybody just wants to know what Trey thinks of Terrifier. Not just Lee. But then from UK Pete. Yeah, that was making sure I don't confuse the president and vice president of the 80s Revisited UK fan clubs. UK Pete sent us one back on November 19th. He said, Trey and Jesse and families, just a quick message to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. Hope you all have a fantastic time, eat far too much, and crash on the sofa couch for some great 80s films. Looking forward to the next installment of 80s Revisited, whenever that may be. Little did Pete know it would be another month.
Right.
But one question, though. If you have turkey on Thanksgiving, what do you eat on Christmas Day? Anyway, have a great holiday. Pete, we eat more turkey on Christmas Day.
Another turkey, ham.
Yeah. A good Christmas ham.
I mean, my first Christmas thing starts tomorrow, so I'll find out tomorrow night.
I mean, honestly, with Thanksgiving, you usually get mostly turkey.
Right.
You always turkey, but then you usually maybe get ham too there. But for Christmas,
as far as
usually
meats
it's
go,
For Christmas, usually get a little turkey, smaller bird, ham, and then all the just other stuff. So at least that's what we do here. Actually, a few years ago, I had my first turducken, which is a turkey with a chicken stuck in its butthole, and then a duck stuck in the chicken's butthole.
Yeah.
All cooked.
It's a foul centipede.
Yeah. The foul centipede. There's an animated movie from the creator of Wallace and Gromit.
Right.
Oh, I don't know if I've mentioned this on a podcast, but have you seen Early Man? Did I mention that to you?
Is that Jack Black?
No, not the
Oh,
Michael.
right. You mentioned the scene.
From the one from Wallace and Gromit. I forget his name.
That's right.
But it's that animated one. Eddie Redmayne's the voice in it, which I hate. But that movie, if I haven't mentioned on the podcast already, because I don't remember if I did.
I was thinking of Year One for some reason. Same concept. But yeah, you mentioned last time there was a scene that's
Oh my God.
super hilarious.
Okay, I can't say anything else about it. You have to watch it. Like, literally just thinking about it makes me want to just smile. Like, I'll smile and then like fight back a laugh.
I mean, just like Shaun the Sheep, that restaurant scene.
Absolutely. And
So
then,
good.
wait, this is from, I can't read that yet because we're working on a possible very special guest for the podcast, which hasn't materialized just yet. But then Pete also sends us a beautiful, a Christmas message from the UK. It was the week before Christmas, and all through the house, the sound of 80s Revisited was quieter than a mouse.
True.
Until tonight, Pete. Ho, ho, ho. Or as Kurt Russell says in that Christmas movie on Netflix, ho, ho, ho. The most terrifying ho, ho, ho ever. Hope I didn't peak your speakers with that. I apologize if I did.
Oh yeah, we haven't done any balancing and stuff, so we'll see.
Let's see. To continue this beautiful adaptation that Pete did. No episodes had been there since the Halloween season. A Daughter of Youth was perhaps the reason. The year had started with a bang and a crash. An episode full of all that is flash. Episodes came when the host had time. It's really difficult to make all this rhyme. So as we approach the end of the year, I'd like to raise a glass of beer and wish Trey and Jesse all the best. Cheers, gents. First of all, well done. Well done. When I saw it was that, all I read was the first line before I got here tonight. So I just knew that I could see that it was in the iambic pentameter of Night Before Christmas. Well done, my friend. Hats off. That was a Christmas present to us. So we had to give you, in particular, we dedicate this episode to UK Pete.
There you go.
For this beautiful, his Christmas gift to us. I had to reciprocate with the episode of the podcast. Anyway, he says, hope you're well and have a wonderful Christmas break with your families, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be back on track in 2019. Here's to you gentlemen and your families. Merry Christmas and a prosperous 80s packed 2019. Can't thank you enough, Pete. That was awesome. Pretty much once I saw that email and then I had to rewatch Silent Hill, I was like, this would be perfect to at least get something in for Christmas for the podcast. Thankfully, Jesse had time. We got it, and I had my shit together to get it in time. Because, I mean, Jesse's always here. This is, the delay is...
I live here.
Yeah, we're at his house. So, is Jesse here? No, he's not here. Like, don't tell him I'm not here. So it's all on me, but like we were talking off the air, like hoping to get, again, I said this before, but we're hoping to get some more regularity to the episodes coming out because obviously we have at least two very loyal fans.
At least.
So, but the numbers we see from downloads and all that say, there's a lot of people out there that do like listening to it. So we appreciate it for sure.
I think we just hit the 250,000 mark for downloads.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, to think that...
Wasn't it? I thought I told you that, but I guess
I thought we had like 1 million plays or something, or half, or something.
I think it was 250,000.
Okay.
It's not a small number, so that's good.
Yeah. I mean, not bad for a 6-year-old podcast.
Not bad. Not bad.
The thing that hurts us, I think, is just people might listen to that first episode where we just
Well,
had terrible audio.
it's also
I say terrible
years
audio
ago.
quality.
This episode has terrible
based-
audio because I don't have the mic set up yet.
Well, maybe, but we have the visual aspect, so there's
That's
something
true.
there.
There is
I
something.
mean, I'll drive down the road listening to a YouTube video with bad audio if
Yeah.
it's something I'm watching or interested in, etc. So, but you never judge a podcast by its first 50 episodes. I always say you got to watch it. The first one, listen to the first one. Listen to depends on how many episodes they have. They have 100. Listen to the first, the 25th, 50th, 75th, and 100. And if you don't like it after that, then you don't listen to it anymore.
Right.
So hopefully,
Well, just listen to the latest one, and if you're happy with that, just
That's usually
keep
the
going
best
from
way.
there.
because most of them, then
Yeah.
that's honestly that's actually my MO.
Yeah.
Modus operandi, to quote and imitate Twin Peaks for you Twin Peaks fans. But yeah, like, because I found a couple of podcasts recently, after I listened to the recent episode, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I like how this is going. Let me listen to something early, another topic I might like on the list, and then okay, subscribe, done.
I've been looking at comedy podcasts recently because I can veg out on, while I'm driving.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to learn anything.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Absolutely. Anyway, of course, if you would like to send an email to get read on the air, even if it's mean, we read everything. We don't care because we know we're not perfect, and it's just our opinions.
Yeah.
And I know
Got some
that
fun reviews here.
Absolutely. But 80srevisit@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter. Hopefully this chair isn't, every time I say something and lean forward to put emphasis on it, doesn't ruin the, pick up the audio. Let's see, 80srevisit@gmail.com, on Twitter, at 80, is it at Awesome Pods or at 80srevisit on Twitter? It's been so long.
What are you talking about?
I'm
Twitter?
just- yeah,
At Awesome Pods.
at Awesome Pods. Facebook at Awesome Pods.
Or is it? No, you set up the Twitter. So I guess it's at 80s
Let me double
Revisited.
It's been 2 months, peeps. Do people
Yeah.
still say peeps? I'm 38 years old. I don't know what
they
the
said it
kids
2
say.
months ago.
Let's
Not
see.
anymore.
Yeah, at 80s Revisited on Twitter. I'm sure there's an at Awesome Pods, but I wouldn't see that one. So,
Wow.
and then that, and now
Such an
on this
old
YouTube channel too.
podcast. I'm looking at this on IMDb. 2012 to 2018. That's 6 years.
Wow. So this is episode 216.
Yep. And what's the math here? 6 years. So 216 divided by 6. That's 36 a year.
That's not bad. That's like a school year.
Oops, 3. Oh, that's not bad. Every 10 days or so, an
Yeah,
episode came out.
on average, so that's worth it. Of course, these past few have killed that average.
Sure.
So,
Not bad, not bad.
but anyway, as far as, I mean, again, the only time our fan or anybody who loves this podcast needs to worry about us not doing another episode is when we do They Live. Because as I've said before, this podcast started with John Carpenter and it will end with John Carpenter. So that's why if you see
So
that,
you know it's not the end.
if you see the feed come up, say new episode on Asia Visited and it's They Live, get your tissues out because that's the end. Because that's I was talking to somebody. I'm trying to think about John Carpenter movies. Like, yeah, have you done They Live? I'm like, no, I'm saving that one. Oh, for what? The last episode.
The last episode.
So
Wow.
that's the one.
Planning the demise.
I know that's just so I know that we go out with a good movie and not Annihilators or.
We'll have to film something for that, film Shawshank, but Trejo's here. Do it, They Live.
the headphones.
Headphones hanging from the top.
Fantastic. Don't spoil the surprises.
Yeah. It'll be fun to watch. Anyway.
Absolutely. Anyway.
They did it.
But next episode, I want to finish the Halloween horror ones I had lined up, and then after that, we'll just go back to kind of planning out different things. Like I said, I'm getting a case of sequelitis. There's a lot of sequels we haven't covered.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about
They're
Friday the
going
13th.
around right now.
Yep, people seem to get a lot of it, especially. Well, I was gonna say what sequel came out recently, but I don't even know what came out except Aquaman and Mary Poppins. I guess Mary Poppins is a sequel, so yeah, sequelitis. Or I guess that's technically a reboot.
Right.
I don't know. Everyone wants to see it but me and my family. But
Yeah.
I want to see it, but I do not want to go to a theater.
Actually, we talked about that just yesterday. We're like, let's wait till it comes home.
In fact, my friend at the theater said he is dreading the next 2 days or this week because the kids are out of school. You got Mary
Mhm.
Poppins starting. You got Aquaman out.
Yeah.
You got Creed. Still got big movies still out. So he's just absolutely like just say a prayer. Like, he's not even religious. Not that, I mean, it's more so an expression that say a prayer for me these days anyway. But just say a prayer for me because it's going to be ridiculous. So I suggest staying at home and watching Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 through 4 and the reboot.
5 and 6. No?
Did it say it was up to 5 or was it?
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
What did I say? Silent.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. 4 sequels. It should be 5. 4 sequels and a remake. Not 3 sequels and a remake. If that's what I said. I don't even remember.
Yeah, because I thought I saw a 6 in here, but I guess I didn't. Oh, yeah. You're right. Anyways.
Well, technically, the Silent Night, the remake is 6. In terms of, like,
True.
the 6th
I
one
thought
of the
I saw an
franchise.
actual 6, though, but I didn't.
Yep. So, anyway, next time, since I already got the notes written, so you can do your homework, we'll be talking about Reanimator. Hopefully next week, if not as soon as possible. I promise. I promise a lot of things.
Yeah. Stop promising so much.
I know. I promised that Daniel would do Mr. Mom.
Yeah.
I promised we'd get our Creepshow Museum Part 2.
I promised that wall that Mexico was supposed to pay
Yeah,
for.
that they were supposed to pay for, but I mean, I got a GoFundMe going. It's doing pretty well.
Yeah, that's true.
We got 10% of it down. Just need that other $90 million. Or actually, no.
900 million.
Yeah, 900 million. So I got 0.1% of it down.
Oh, it was just 10? I
I
thought
thought it was 10 million. I don't know. I don't follow that shit because it's stupid.
Yeah, it was going fast last I checked, but...
Now look, I don't play. I'm an independent, but let me just say this: if you can, it blows my mind in this country. I'm going to get on my. This is in honor of Stan Lee. Rest in peace, by the way, because we haven't recorded in so long.
True.
A lot of people have died since we recorded. Maybe it's like, well, there's no 80s Revisited. Apparently it's dead, so I'm just going to go die now. Sorry for my horrible imitation of Stan Lee.
Someone's right. Okay, this is the wrong one.
That's ladders to get over Trump's walls.
138,000 raised for ladders.
Here's my soapbox real quick. People in this country will donate 10, whatever it's up to now, to help build the wall. But we won't donate
16.3 million.
16.3 million. You know how many homeless people you could get off the streets for Christmas
I
with
think
that?
what a lot of people are doing, they know that it's not going to go through. There's no way.
Well, the guy said he's apparently going to return it if it doesn't.
Fund.
Yeah, which I think it has to if it's on GoFundMe. I don't know how those
Well,
work.
I would think GoFundMe would shut it down eventually.
Honestly, it's probably bringing so many people to their site.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
it.
true.
That's got to be the most successful thing or most funded thing they've ever done on that site, maybe with 60 million.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not an
There's
expert.
$1 billion
I'm just guessing.
goal.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're not very far into it. 0.16.
Actually, do the math. Divide 16 million. Just divide 60
Oh, the
million by
average.
250,000.
Let's see.
Sorry, we got political here on 80s.
By how much was it again?
This is gone on my screen.
260.
Divide 16 million by 250,000. Just to get a ballpark.
Yeah, $60 a person, roughly.
Wow, that could feed one person for a month.
Yeah.
More than that if you get the dollar menu at McDonald's. That's 2 months. I mean, let's be honest. That just makes again.
And
like you
McDonald's
said,
gets the $1 billion.
at least the people are
Okay.
fucking eating.
Yeah.
I mean, goddamn.
And people are working. Oh, anyways.
That's
What a way to end the podcast.
Well, when you think of the wall, go look up Banksy's what he posted on the wall in Palestine, where it had Mary and Joseph painted on the wall. Like, oh, guess we can't get in. Sorry, Jesus. Oh no, here comes King Herod. Savor the world's kill before he can get to that cute little manger.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, Mary's killed before she gets to that manger because they were killing all the unborn kids, according to the Bible. So, so much of Christian nation. If we had that wall built and Jesus was born in Mexico, trying to flee to be born in America, the birthplace of Christianity, according to these far right kooks. If you're one of them, I enjoy that you listen to our podcast, and let's agree on 80s movies, but not politics.
There you go.
Let's just leave it at that, because I can.
Most of our audience is outside of America, so
Yeah.
it's all right.
Yeah, apparently so. So yeah, pray for us. Because things get too bad. UK Pete, me, and Lee. Maybe I can bunk at one of y'all's house in autumn, and the baby can do the other, and we'll just switch off. We'll work something out.
Yeah, somewhere else.
And Ben in Tasmania, we can get really far away.
Yeah.
Autumn's like, oh, we need to go there. It's so pretty. I'm like, Autumn, because she doesn't like the cold weather. I said, I want to go there so bad. Australia, Tasmania, everything. I've always wanted to go there since I was a kid. Great Barrier Reef, which is dying at an alarming rate, so it might not be there by the time I get there. I want to go cage diving with white sharks, all that great fun stuff. Go to Australia Zoo, go to Tasmania and meet Ben, have a pint or two. And I'm like,
Ben.
But then like I was like, yeah, the beaches there look amazing. I'm like, yeah. You know it's like this far from Antarctica, right?
Yeah.
We watched Lion. The dude's on the beach in a sweatsuit, just swimming. Like, it's cold. Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we might have talked about this before,
Well,
too.
right now it's hot, right?
I guess. I'm not...
What's the temperature in Sydney?
It's 77 degrees right now in Sydney, Australia.
And 3 p.m. because it's summertime over there right now. Whereas if you go into
Look up...
summer,
no, I was going to say Brisbane, but that's Australia. See if it'll tell you Hobart, Tasmania.
What's the temperature in Hobart, Tasmania? This is fun.
It's about 87 degrees in Hobart,
10
Australia.
more.
Wow. Okay, Ben, I need to know, like, if it's hot, is the water, like, still, like, super cold because it's... it is so far below the equator. I mean, of course, people here, I guess it makes sense because people go swimming in Jersey.
Yeah.
That's where the shark attacks occur that inspired Jaws. People from New York go to the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
So that makes sense, I guess. I'm sure certain times of year, obviously, you don't go in the water because of the temperature.
Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. I was going to say some parts look lower, but yeah, I would say it's pretty far as far as
it's obviously far. Like you can, look, Ben can go out to the beach and like, oh, look, there's Antarctica.
Because you got to think the equator's like right here, somewhere in that area.
Well, of course, the American map or the standard map that we see is completely inaccurate.
Sure.
So I'm just basing it on that and complete inexperience of that region of the world. With our friend. Oh, is that the same where Santa's at right now?
Oh, he's still in the North Pole.
Looks like. Is that the North Pole? Or is it?
He's just hanging out. He's not. He's making a list right now.
He's getting ready, boys and girls.
Soon enough, he'll be checking it twice.
And thank God the shutdown didn't affect the NORAD Santa tracker because I still watch that just to see where he is to know. So anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. Clint, anybody in the future, thank you for watching. But again, we'll be back. Our next episode will be the original Reanimator ASAP. It'll definitely be after the new year because we got holidays and everything.
Yeah,
which fall on Mondays.
Test stream.
So
we'll see how it went.
Let us know what you think. I had a blast. I'll wear a different 80s shirt each time. Right now, I'm rocking my favorite band of the 80s, Wild Stallions. About to go out with their third film, hopefully, which is supposedly is in the works. Looking forward to that. But until next time, everybody, I remain Trey Harris.
Jesse Sedgley.
Cowabunga!
And now at this point, we do the intro.
You got some Jingle Bell music? Like,
I'll throw some in
okay,
there.
just like some, like Silent Night or something, just the piano or something.
You could do that.
I should have, if I thought about this sooner, I would have copied Pete and made like a 80s Revisited Silent Night or something, but oh well, can't do that now. Not that quick. Let's see. I think I'm a good, instead of just imitating Santa.
This is how we do intros, folks.
Yep.
I think it's going so low because I'm at 1%. So I was like, why is it all skippy now?
It's dying, Frodo.
It's limiting its resources, I think. All right.
Let's see. What's the Night Before Christmas? Like, what's that? To my wondrous eyes would appear. What is before that line? Something, something, arose such a cloud around us, it doesn't matter. But to my wondrous eyes would appear.
A jolly fat man.
Stealing all my beer.
Stealing all my...
Or coming at me, according to Silent Dale, like coming at me with an axe, trying to kill me.
Yeah. Death is near.
There you see.
Is the,
you know who the songwriter is.
What's this thing you're trying to figure out here?
The line before, to my wondrous eyes would appear.
Oh, isn't that, what's the name of
'Twas the night before Christmas.
Twas. It's not.
See 'twas.
See 'twas the night before Christmas.
South African Christmas rapper. See 'twas.
See 'twas. And it'd be further down, huh?
What to my...
When my wandering eyes did appear, right?
Yeah, there is. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow. Okay.
Lustre midday to objects below. All right.
Go up. How far is it? It's still like 5 lines. Okay, that's too much. That's too much. Or read the whole thing and then throw in 80s Revisited at that point.
Go for it.
That's like way too much for an intro.
Sure. You can say like the first 2 lines and just jump down to that.
There you go. That's a good idea. 'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to the objects below. When what to my wondering eyes did appear, a new episode of 80s Revisited on my iTunes store.
Oh.
Or whatever device you use to get your podcast with.
Sure.
That's right. Merry Christmas, bitches! To quote my favorite line from Rent, it's a brand new, wrapped, not in a gift bag with tissue paper, but wrapped with Back to the Future wrapping paper. Episode of 80s Revisited. That's right. Merry Christmas to one and all. We're here to talk about my new holiday classic, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 1.
Yeah.
Because there's 5 of them. And a remake. But of course, we like to start with the original. And that's coming up right now on 80s Revisited.
Thanks for visiting us here on YouTube. If you watched it all the way to this point, congrats. You're the first one. Doesn't matter if you weren't the first one. You're the first one.
Still are. Nobody can take that from you.
Yeah, so this was a test run. Maybe we'll be on Twitch later. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I just wanted to see if all this stuff was working, and it is. So that's good.
Awesome. Go to Twitch if we get some regularity.
Yeah, that's true.
Seems to be the requirement for that. So
yeah. But we'll see you next time.
Merry Christmas.